what's up guys? Let me tell you how my morning started out, okay? Me and my wife went to the gym, so we went to Huntington. But when we were leaving the house, I looked and I was so worried about cleaning up everything that was around the Ford, I didn't even think to close my windows on my car, and it rained all night. So the Veloster got a nice interior cleaning, but I wiped it all down with a chamois and shut it up. I'm gonna have to wait until there's a warm day and open the windows and let the thing air out. Then we went to Huntington, went to the gym. She had to get back to go train somebody, so we came back into Mount Union. I went to get transmission fluid at the hardware store because they normally stock that kind of stuff, and they don't have it. So now I gotta run back to Huntington so I can get Merc 5 fluid to put in the transmission of the Ford. I love that Ford. Well, off to Huntington so I can get some transmission fluid for this biatch. I'm a scat man. Believe it or not, like the only transmission fluid I can find in there that specifically calls out Mercron 5 is Castrol Transmax. I checked a bunch of other bottles out, and some of them weren't real clear. They just said Micron or Mercron on it, but this is what I'm going to use. Alright, so after adding fluid, it wasn't even on the dipstick, so I added a full quart, and now I'm a little over. But I have it up to operating temperature too. I was monitoring the temperature right here. That's actually a little probably high, whatever. But it does shift straight into gear now. I can tell it's shifting straight into gear. So I am going to take this for a test drive, but before I do that, I want to check this brake switch. So I already went through, and there's no ABS or traction control codes. So now I need to pull up the monitors, like I said, and I can check that brake switch and see what's going on. Alright, so after going through about, I don't even know, I bet you 500 different sensors on here. I went through everything and I cannot find the emergency brake switch. So we're gonna have to try it a different way. I'm gonna have to unplug the wires, get my ohm meter, and see what's going on when I push that switch. I hope it's just as simple as the switch, but we'll see what's going on. Alright, so I verified that it's not the switch. Here's the brake switch, and we have continuity with it out. And then let me see if I can do this on camera. When I push it in, see, we have continuity. I push the switch in, it goes off. This is hard to do on camera because I'm trying to hold this switch. There we go. It's really hard to do. There's with it pushed in, there's with it out. Pushed in, out. So this switch is working. So, and I can't figure it out. I can test the pressure switch and the brake switch on there, and they both register that they're working. So I don't know. This might be an as-is deal because the brakes work. I don't know. The front pads were good. Maybe it's the back pads. Only thing I can think to do is to take a wheel off and check it out. But we're going to go take this thing for a test drive. Ford is just the gift that keeps giving. I believe the AC needs charged. It's not very cold at all. I don't know. I'm going to give it a little bit of time, but I have it on max AC, and doesn't seem like I'm getting that cold of air. So we might have to charge the system. That's fun. There's probably a hole in the system. That's why it's not running. So anyway. The thing runs good. Power-wise, it seems decent. I'm going to put some fuel in it because I'm not sure if the gas gauge is reading right, because I thought it was lower and now it's up closer to half a tank, and I thought it was lower than that. So we're going to go check that out, and then I'll get back to you. Alright, so the easiest stuff I need to check first is I need to get into the fuse box and see if there's a fuse for the air conditioning and one for brakes. That could, it could be an easy fix like that. The brakes are working fine. The truck drives fine. Just little things. Like I said, air conditioning, I definitely want to get charged, and we'll figure that out. The brake switch, I don't know. It's not the switch. I don't know what's going on there, because I tested all the switches. So we'll have to look into it a little deeper. But I'm happy with the motor work. If you couldn't tell the wheel was off, that's because it needs an alignment, especially after being hit as hard as it was underneath. So that's why my steering wheel's not straight. But for the most part, it's running decent. Sounds good, whatever. Also, I think I showed it in a previous video. I don't know how you do this, but that is the battery voltage needle. You see how it's lit up over there? It's because the needle's laying right there. It fell out. I'm not gonna mess with it. If it was like oil pressure or engine temperature or something like that, I probably would have tried to fix it, but it's the battery voltage. I'm not really worried about it. So as I was driving it, it developed a misfire. I did start pulling coil wires. The front one, they don't clip in. There's 3 red coils, and the rest of them are black. Like somebody just replaced a couple. The front red ones, the front one is firing, because when I pull it, the misfire gets worse. When I pull the second one, the misfire doesn't change. So I got a problem with that coil. It's like hit or miss. So I'm just gonna get some new coils and replace those. I mean, definitely the second one, I'm gonna get a couple of them, because I might have to replace a couple of them. But it's just like one cylinder's missing, and I'm getting a code for a P0351 ignition coil A primary second circuit, which is the 351 means cylinder 1. It's like 351 through 360 is the number cylinder. So we're gonna get a couple coils. I'm pretty sure Advance is still open. I'm gonna order them online, and then I'll run back to Huntington for the 3rd time today and go get myself some coils. So we're not gonna get into cleaning this thing today, because we still have problems to diagnose. I ran a diagnostic test on it, and it said that the brake switch was not within tolerance. Even though it's showing that it's working, it's when I did a self-check, it says it's not within tolerance. So I'm going to also see if I can pick up a brake switch for this thing while I'm at it. I highly doubt they have that in stock, but we'll find out. You want to buy your sweetheart the gift that just keeps giving? Get her a Ford! So as of right now, I'm not really worried about the brake light, but I am worried about the misfire. So I ordered 3 coils, and let me explain myself. They only have like 4 coils in total, and that's for like 3 different brands. They had 2 DriveWorks, they had 2 Pertronics, and then all the other ones were for 2 valves. These are for 3 valves. So for 3 coils with a discount, it was like $85. That's for 3 of them. They had a set on there of all of them, but they were out of stock, and it was like $250. $250 for your coils. But anyway, 3 of the coils on this truck are red, and the rest are black. And the red ones the connector doesn't clip onto them. It just like pushes on, but it doesn't clip. I can pull them right off. And the one that's misfiring is one of those ones. So I'm going to replace all the red ones on there with 1 DriveWorks and 2 Pertronics and see how we make out. But I got to go get them, which is about a 25-minute drive to get there and a 25-minute drive to get back. So the Ford is going to live to taunt me for another week, because there's no way I'm going to have this thing done this week because of this reason. And it frustrates me to no end that it's like, it's still nickel and diming me even after all this money I just put in it. More Ford junk. Alright, so let me show you which coils I am replacing. There's a red one back here in the back on 4, 5, and 6. When I pull 6, the misfire doesn't get any worse. So I'm assuming that's plugged. Now also, these things do not clip in. Look, they just, like, the plug just falls right off. It will not clip. So I don't know if they're the wrong coils or what's going on, but it's the same with this one. Just comes right off. So we're going to go ahead and replace those, and that one in the back here, which I'm assuming is the same way. I can't reach back here right now. I don't think I can. No, I can't reach back here without a step stool. Let me go get that. Okay, so that back one is actually clipped in. I couldn't pull the plug off, so I'm going to start by replacing these 2, and then checking to see if we still have a misfire. And then I might replace that one. If not, I'll just leave this DriveWorks one in the car and can go with it. Alright, coils are changed. Let's see if it's smoothed out. Yeah, it does feel a lot smoother. All I did was replace 2 of them. Sounds a lot better. So, I guess I'll take it out for a test run again.
Right now, yeah! Go on.
I believe I just discovered the brake issue. I pulled out of my driveway and I didn't even realize it. I had the emergency brake pushed down, and it's like has a lot of pressure to it. But the truck moves like there's no brake on. No issue at all. So I'm gonna have to say that the e-brakes in the back are shot. There's tension on it, so I think they're compressing, but it's like it doesn't hold it back at all. So that has to be the issue in the rear, so we'll look into that. It seems to be running a lot smoother But we need to take it for a long drive just to see if we fix the issue. I think it's safe to say at this point, I fixed the misfire. This is, last time I didn't even get halfway out this road and I started losing power and it started being like vibrating, and it almost felt like when you're getting a bad U-joint or something like that, or you have a tire out of balance. But it's not doing that at all now. It's driving smooth, power's good. We still don't have AC, so we gotta look into that issue. But yeah, I mean, mechanically the truck is sound. Now I'm hoping I can just charge the AC and that'll fix my issue. That's probably not what's gonna happen because it's Ford. There's probably a leak in the system or the AC compressor is bad. But we're gonna try to charge it. I might put some of that dye with leak stop in it. I've had actually some good luck with that. I had a truck that used to leak and I could not find the leak anywhere. And I put that stop leak in with the dye and charged it, and it would hold a charge all summer long. But then after winter time, it would lose it again. And it just, you know, it's not the right fix. You're supposed to find the leak and replace the seals or whatever you need to do, but if you got a line leaking, to replace the line, or your compressor's not working, you're supposed to do a vacuum test on them, and I don't have the vacuum or the gauges or anything like that yet. I eventually want to get those, but I'm going to go redneck style, and I am just going to charge it and see how it works out. I just had another cylinder misfire. I fixed it along the side of the road. It was cylinder 1 again, which I didn't replace that coil. So I got in there and I pulled the plug and I looked at the plug, and the rubber O-ring that goes around the inside of the plug was torn, it was bunched up, and the plug wasn't making contact because of that, or it was intermittently making contact. So I dug that out and it plugged in good, clipped in tight, and now it's running great again. So it's just stupid little shit like that. It really it's like something you don't even really look for. But if you do have a misfire on one of these and you know which cylinder it is, unplug them and check the end of the plug and make sure that that orange O-ring in there, that gasket in there, is not all bunched up and tore and stuff. I took them out. I'm going to have to find something to replace them with. It's like a Deutsch connector, but we'll work on that. So there you have it. I made it home. No more codes. The engine is running smooth. Before, I could feel a little skip in the seat sitting in here, and I just assumed it was a Ford thing. It's smooth now. So cylinder 1 was intermittently misfiring. Now things running great. It's still not running better than my Chevy, but it's Ford, so I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. We need to charge the AC. We need to get this interior cleaned up, and then this thing is gonna, well, it needs an alignment, then this thing's ready for sale. So if you like this, go check out some other videos, like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace out.